only mode.
Hello everybody, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whichever part of the world you're at. My name is Ilan Asbel. I am joined by my colleague Eric Voorges. Say hello, Eric.
Hi everyone, very welcome.
I see people streaming in here still, so I think well Eric, should we actually just get going on this presentation? Do you think it's about time, or should we wait a few moments?
Yes, no, I think we can. We're also recording this, so those who are late or those who missed it completely can always check it on the web.
Right. Okay, good. Okay, so let's get going. Welcome, everybody. Again, my name is Ilan Asbel. I'm joined by Eric Voorges, my colleague who's the COO of the company. We're going to be giving you a brief overview of the Autochartist platform. Please don't miss tomorrow's presentation, which is going to go in depth into the performance statistics of Autochartist trading platform. But for today, we're just going to keep things nice and casual and just give you a basic overview of the platform. So before we get going, there's two polls that I want to two questions that I want to ask you, just that I can gauge the audience that we'll be speaking to today. And the first question is, how often or ever have you used Autochartist? So if you could answer that question for me, then we can actually see who we're actually talking to. Okay, so we have a lot of people, a lot of newbies to the platform, and quite a few people which are frequent users. That's fantastic. Good to have you all back. All right, let's close that poll. And one other question. How long have you been trading for? If you could answer that question for us. Okay, so it looks like a lot of new traders on the Autochartist platform, but actually a substantial amount of experienced traders. So that's actually quite interesting that a lot of experienced traders are joining us for today's webinar. This is fantastic. Thank you very much. So I think based on this, based on these answers, I see that I can actually comfortably use quite a bit of jargon in this presentation. So we'll zoom ahead now. So let's start with a basic overview of what Autochartist is. Autochartist is really tries to be your helping hand in trading. The number one question asked by every single trader around the world, wherever you are in the world, is what instrument should I be trading, and which direction should I be trading that instrument? And of course, this is where Autochartist comes in. Autochartist is not a trading system. It doesn't give you opening prices, opening signals and closing signals. Autochartist gives you market research. It gives you a place to start looking at trades and a place to some opportunities in the market that you can go ahead, put into your trading platform, and then make some educated decisions about whether you think this is a good opportunity or not. We always promote the inclusion of other technical indicators in your trading decisions. You can add moving averages, RSIs, or even fundamental analysis if you're looking at stocks and shares. So Autochartist again is trading opportunities, market research. And at Autochartist we have a very simple saying: a picture's worth 1,000 words. And we're looking at an example over here of opportunity on the forex market for the US dollar against the Japanese yen. And it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out what Autochartist is trying to say to you here, right? So Autochartist is saying to you that the Japanese yen against the US dollar has broken through a major resistance level at about just under 80, and it forecasts the price to go to 80.48. So there's not a lot of text in Autochartist. Some two lines: support, resistance, a breaker, an arrow in the direction of where we think the price will be moving, as well as a forecast region, which is where we think the price will actually be going. On the side, we've got some information about some more analysis about the opportunity itself. we see that this opportunity was identified on 240-minute candles. That's 4 hourly candles of US dollar Japanese yen. It was an ascending triangle that we identified. We identified it today at 8 a.m. New York time, right? My auto chart is set in New York time, and if you want to set a different time zone for yourself, you can go ahead and push on that little drop-down button and select the time zone that you're actually in. We see that the opportunity that Autochartist identified was based on 120 candles, and let me quickly explain what that actually means. So it means that the distance from the start of the pattern to the end of the pattern, that distance over here, is 120 candles in length. Right? So this pattern was made up of 120 4-hourly candles. So quite a long-term pattern. It was a continuation pattern. That means that there was an initial trend, which you can't see here right now, a bullish initial trend followed by a bullish breakout, which makes it a continuation pattern. Right? And then some quality indicators. Now let's actually have a look at some of these quality indicators and what they actually mean in this example. The breakout quality indicator tells us how strong or how strong a breakout there was through the support or resistance level. So if you look at the breakout candle, which I'm highlighting your screen right now, it was very, very large breakout candle and very strong through the resistance level of this pattern. And that means that it gets quite a high, it's a very, very strong breakout. Clarity is a measure between how much noise there was between touching points, between support and resistance. And you can see that it's relatively clear in the first legs of the pattern, but relatively unclear in the second legs of the pattern. And so clarity is being given a slightly smaller rating. Then we have an indicator called uniformity, which is basically the distance, measuring the distance of how equal between the touching points of support and resistance. And uniformity was relatively uniform, but not very uniform. And the initial trend, the last quality indicator, the initial trend, tries to understand whether the initial trend prior to formation of the pattern was strong or not. And in this situation, it was very, very weak initial trend. And so the general, the arithmetic average of all those quality indicators gives you the quality rating. So what does Autochartist do? It gives you a support line, a resistance line, and I think it's going, and indication of the visual quality of the opportunity, as well as a forecast price. Now on the left-hand side, I kind of I kind of went straight into an opportunity itself, right, an example itself. But let's actually have a look at some of the different sections within the Autochartist application. The first section we have is the searches panel. The searches panel is where you can customize the list of financial instruments that you want to look for. And it's quite simple to actually create your own custom search. So if you click on the new search button, and I'll give that a moment to refresh on all your screens, you can choose a different financial instrument that you want to follow, or a different group of instruments. So for example, we can look at all end-of-day opportunities on the Amex exchange. And when you click OK, you would get your new search criteria on the top left-hand side, which is Amex end of day. And on the bottom of the screen, you'll actually get the opportunities themselves. Right? And this is what we call the results and opportunities section of the application. So we've selected Amex on the top left, and you get all the opportunities on Amex on the bottom of the application. Let me switch back to the previous opportunities search criteria that I had, which is called FX majors, which are all my foreign currency, major foreign currency cross rates and opportunities on the foreign currency market. Now let's have a look at some of the opportunities that are listed in the opportunities section. So while I wait for the screens to refresh, we'll have a look at some of these opportunities now. The first opportunity I want to show you well, is the same one we were looking at a moment ago, which is US dollar Japanese yen. And I want to explain some of the columns that we see in the opportunities section. So the first is the exchange. Obviously, this is self-explanatory. We identified this opportunity on the Forex market. The next is the symbol. Again, self-explanatory. This is US dollar against Japanese yen. Then we see a green bullish arrow. Now, a green bullish arrow means that we forecast the price to go in a bullish direction. And the green arrow means that there has been a breakout, which I'm highlighting to you now, a breakout through a support or resistance level. Okay, in this case, a green means there was a breakout through the resistance level. Now, let me contrast that with an opportunity that doesn't have a green arrow, but rather a red arrow. I mean, not a red arrow, a gray arrow. A gray arrow means that there has not been a breakout as yet, and we call this an emerging pattern, right? So currently, this opportunity on the US dollar Swiss franc is still trading between a comfortable trading range between support and resistance, okay, and has not yet broken through. Now, this is a very important feature within the Autochartist application, because what it does, it allows you to trade in 3 different types of styles. Either you can take a very short-term bullish position on US dollar Swiss franc, thinking that the price will move up to this resistance level, or you can wait until it reaches the resistance level and fails the breakout and trade short, assuming that the trend is going to go downwards, as follows. Let's say it reaches this resistance level and then fails the breakout and actually move downwards. You can actually take a short position. Or what you can do is set a limit order higher up. So if the price breaks out, you can automatically have your position opened in the market. So you don't actually have to wait and watch the market, watch the breakout. So the whole idea about these emerging patterns, which are all the gray arrows, is to allow you, the trader, to actually have a so-called a preemptive strike against the market. So you can actually anticipate certain movements before they actually happen. And this is a very, very powerful thing. Let me carry on going through some of the columns in the results section. The next column we have is interval, which is the data interval on which this opportunity was found. So the selected opportunity that we've got there is the US dollar Swiss franc. It was identified on 60-minute candles. So each of these candles that you see in this price graph are 60-minute candles. It's an ascending triangle. That's the type of pattern it is. It's an ascending triangle. And then we see a little icon over here, which is aligned with some squiggles in between it. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly open the results filter on the right-hand side of the screen. And then what you will see is the fact that this little icon exactly correlates to an icon in the filter section. So this is actually telling us that this is a chart pattern that was identified. And we can see in the filter section, we can actually filter what types of opportunities we actually want to see in our results section, right? In our opportunity section. And I will get to that in just a moment. The next column I want to highlight is the identified column, which is the time at which this opportunity was identified. And on the top right-hand side of my screen, you will see the time zone that I've got my Autochartist set in. Quality is the quality indicators we just recently spoke about just a few minutes ago. The type of pattern it is, which is emerging, right? Actually, this is a duplication of information you can already see visually by the fact that it's a gray arrow. But this is just a repeat of that information. This is an emerging pattern. The pattern length of length 20, and I explained that to you just a few moments ago as well, that the number of candles that had formed pattern are 20 candles. And last but not least, the last column on the list is a column called age. Now this is a very, very important column. Age is how old the pattern is in candles, right? So you can see that this pattern is brand new. It's brand new. We know that because it's got an age of 0. Now, if we scroll down a little bit in the list, and we look at an opportunity which we identified 6 candles ago, 6 4-hour candles ago, age 6, right? What we'll see, and let me zoom into that opportunity. I'll allow the moment to refresh on all of your screens. You'll see an opportunity that is 6 candles old, right? So Autochartist identified this opportunity at this candle that I'm highlighting now, and subsequently 6 new candles have formed. So the age in candles is a very important feature in Autochartist because it tells you how fresh this opportunity is. Right? So you can see the latest opportunities are all listed at the top of the list of trading opportunities. All of these are zeros. Right? And as you scroll down in the application, so you see the number of the age in candles increase to get some quite old opportunities. So now, let me actually describe some of the other types of opportunities that Autochartist identifies. The one that's highlighted right now is a opportunity which is called a key level. Key level is a breakout or an approach to a horizontal support or resistance line. Right? So we can see that this US dollar Swiss franc on the 4-hourly candles touched the support level at that point, at this point, again at this point, again over here, and then finally there was a breakout. So we think the price is going to that forecast region. So again, let me explain to you again some of the features. This is a red arrow, which means that there actually has been a breakout through the support or resistance level. Let's contrast that to a emerging key level. All right, so this is an opportunity on US dollar Swiss franc, which is quite old, 11 candles ago. And let's see what actually happened with that opportunity. Right. So as you can see, Autochartist identified another opportunity at a different support resistance level, okay, which we actually identified based on this market consolidation around this level, around the left-hand side of the graph, and again touching this part of the graph over here. But then what happened, Autochartist saw the price moving towards this line with that candle and highlighted the fact that potentially there's a move towards this support level. Right? So again, an opportunity to take a preemptive strike against the market. Let's choose another approaching example. This is an opportunity on Euro US dollar. So you can see we identified horizontal support and resistance because of this consolidation around that level. Again, a breakout, and again a breakout and consolidation on that level, and then a touch of this level. And now we've identified an approach towards in that direction. So now you can take a very short-term bullish position on Euro US dollar, or you can wait for the breakout and set a limit order over here, or you can wait for a failed breakout and go short. So you can trade in many different ways with Autochartist. So now we've gone through chart patterns, we identify key levels, and what we also do is we identify Fibonacci patterns. So let's look at an example of a Fibonacci pattern. So we'll give that a moment to come up. And it's taking a moment on my side as well. Okay, here we go. So what we see here, and I'm going to just zoom into that to get more clarity on it. This is a very interesting pattern now. So this is a formation, an emerging formation of a Gartley pattern. Now, Autochartist identified 3 movements of an Autochartist pattern. It identified an XA movement, an AB movement, DC movement. And now it highlighted this, gave us a little purple dot and said, now, if the price moves from C down to 0.94, it means it's a complete Gartley, and we should expect the price to retrace up to one of these, oops, except I was supposed to use a drawing tool there, to retrace up to one of these Fibonacci levels. And we can see, interestingly enough, subsequent to us identifying this emerging Gartley pattern, the price has actually moved towards this purple line. So you could potentially take a limit or a stop order at this purple dot, and again take instead of a reactive but a proactive view on the market and where it's going. So along with actually helping you identify certain trading opportunities, Autochartist also helps you with setting take profits and stop loss levels. And the second question that we're asked most often at Autochartist, second after what should I be trading in which direction, is how should I be setting my stop losses and take profits? And this is where our tool called Power Stats comes along. And what Power Stats is, it doesn't give you a view on the directionality of the market, but rather it gives you a forecast price range movement. Okay, so if you're trading US dollar Swiss franc right now, and my clock is set at New York time, so on Thursday at 9 a.m. New York time, and whether you're trading Autochartist chart patterns or key levels or Fibonacci or a moving average system or any other system that you want, and you want to set appropriate take profit and stop loss levels, you should be looking at this information to give you an indication of what reasonable profit or loss you can make within the next few hours based on your trade. So if you're planning to hold your trade for an hour, chances are you shouldn't be setting your stop losses or take profits below 0.9487 or above 0.9503, because that means that chances are you're going to be holding your position for longer than an hour. If you don't want to hold your position for longer than 24 hours, you should be setting your stop loss and take profits between 0.9429 and 0.9541. Now, what Autochartist does in order to get this information, it looks at 6 months worth of volatility data on a Thursday at 9 a.m. for US dollars Swiss franc, and looks at how volatile during that time of day the instrument was, and therefore projects a historical volatility going forward. And for those of you who have a bit of statistical knowledge, I'll throw some jargon at you. This is basically one standard deviation of the expected price range movement. So there's a 67% chance that these price ranges are correct. So if you want to set appropriate stop loss and take profit movements, look at this graph, whether you're trading Autochartist or any other system. Another very interesting chart that we offer is movement per hour of the day. Now this is quite interesting, and I'll explain what each of the axes means. This is from 0-100 hours through to 2300 hours, so this is an entire spectrum of an entire day, right? And how much volatility we can expect during that time of day. So what we can clearly see here in this graph is that the US dollar against the Swiss franc trades quite heavily between about 2 or 3 a.m. New York time and 11 or 10 a.m. New York time, which is actually the London session, right? So we can see that this this actually moves this forex cross pair moves primarily during the London session. However, I can still get quite a bit of volatility if I'm trading early morning in the US. I can still pick up quite a bit of volatility between 8 a.m. and 10 a.m. In the morning in New York. And that's actually where the most volatility actually happens. Right? Now, the one thing I always try to explain to traders is that this is vital information when setting stop losses and take profit levels. Because many traders believe that one stop loss strategy works sometimes not only across all instruments, but across all times of the day. And the reality is that this is not true. If you are trading during very volatile hours, right, you should be allowing more room for your instrument to move in. Okay, so you should be allowing more room for your more space between your opening price and your stop loss and take profit levels, so that you don't get knocked out of your position too early. And this is something which a lot of certainly inexperienced traders do. They set their stop loss way too close for a very volatile time of the day, and they get knocked out early, and then the price moves in their direction and said, oh wow, I was so unlucky because the price, it knocked me out, it moved and knocked me out, and then it went in the right direction. So I actually made the correct decision, the correct direction. I just set my stop loss wrong. But stop loss is actually a critical part of any trading strategy. In fact, there's many experienced and famous traders that believe that the way you exit the market is sometimes more important than the way you enter it. So if you're trading volatile hour day, you should be setting your stop losses further away from your opening position. And if you're trading during less volatile times of the day, then you've got the luxury of actually bringing your stop loss strategy much closer to your opening price and actually taking less risk on the trade. So again, important, very, very important to look at this power stats information, whatever systems you use, whether you use Autochartist trading opportunities or any other trading opportunities, look at power stats and let it guide you in terms of where to set your stop loss and take profit levels. Eric, can I bring you into the conversation now?
Yes.
I was wondering if you've been monitoring the questions section for me. Before I move on to the performance stats and resource and education section, I wonder if I can handle any questions quickly.
We don't have a lot of questions. If you guys are free to ask some questions, type them in if you want.
Okay.
There's one question that Bhavesh asked. The $1,000,000 question is, which direction is the Euro USD move? So maybe you want to see if there's any fresh patterns on Euro USD. I'll just quickly check here on my side.
Yes.
I see a Gartley, a triangle that's still
let's have
open.
Let's see what we've got here.
An
You know that
triangle.
Yeah, but Eric, you know that we're not an advisory service, right? I mean, we shouldn't really be telling
Of course,
people what
but you know what? I mean, I always humor people because it's the question on everybody's lips.
Yes.
The one thing I would say, however, Bhavesh, is that this is not really the right question. That Autochartist is the, well, let me put it this way: Autochartist is not the right tool to answer this question. The power of Autochartist lies not in asking which direction is Euro USD going to move. The power, excuse me, the power of Autochartist lies in answering the question, where are the best trading opportunities in the market currently? So you can, any experienced trader can quickly look at the Euro USD graph on scales and make up their mind and say, it's going up or down, or it's too volatile, or I just don't know, which I guess most people don't know at this time. But the real power and the real benefit that Autochartist brings to you as a trader is to say, if I'm sitting down 10 o'clock Monday morning and I want to make a trade, I want to see where the opportunities are in the market. That is the real question that we're trying to answer.
So can I answer? Is it Bhavesh? You said Bhavesh's question quite like any analyst would answer it. Bhavesh, it's trading in a bullish trend at the moment, but it could go down if it breaks the bullish trend. Right. So I think right now the answer is it could go up or it could go down, but certainly we should be looking for a turnaround at this point in time. And if it fails to turn around, there could be a continuation of the initial bearish trend of Euro USD. Okay, but right now in the very short term, we should be expecting a bullish movement. But again, it could go up and it could go down, and past performance is not indicative of future results, and all of that legal mumbo jumbo that everyone always tells you. Eric, would you concur with my assumption of it could go up and it could go down, or would you have anything else to say?
No, that pretty much sums it up. But let's not digress too much, Ilan. I think you want to go across to the other tabs.
Okay, cool. So let me do that quickly. Now, there's a section in Autochartist that I wanted to discuss now, but I was told that I shouldn't be discussing it, and that's the section called performance statistics. And that's really the million-dollar question, is how well does Autochartist perform? Now, I'll give you a quick teaser, but what I want to invite you to do is that I want to invite you to join us for tomorrow's webinar, which is specifically all around performance statistics. And I'll give you an example. For these are performance stats for Forex on emerging key level patterns, and Forex on emerging key level patterns. That means key levels that have not yet broken through. Over the last 7 months or so, we identified about 15,000 of them, of which 11,000 went through their forecast region, an average of about 73% accuracy that went into our forecast region. Now, of course, we have breakdowns, and we have a breakdown by different instruments, and these are just Forex examples, right? So we'll be going tomorrow into all other global market exchanges, New York, NASDAQ, Amex, and so we have different types of breakdowns. We see that on 60-minute intervals we do really, really well, up to 79% hit rate and 77. So we do have a complete list of breakdown of statistics, but what I invite you to do is to join us for tomorrow's webinar. It's same time, and I guess you can go onto website to get the information for this upcoming webinar tomorrow and register for that. Or if you don't have that link, just send an email to support@autochartist.com in order to get an invitation for tomorrow's webinar, which is purely for performance statistics around the Autochartist platform. I think for today we're just going to stick to the general layout of the application. The last section I want to talk about for today, it will just be very, very briefly, because we are running out of time. We're going over half an hour already, and that's the resources and education section. Now, this is actually quite a useful section for you to look at. On the top right-hand side of the application, of the section, we have a quick tour guide, which is a 5-minute rundown of the entire application. And we have a daily market watch. A daily market watch is actually written by one of our analysts on a daily basis about our forecast on the markets in general. So that's a short little video. It's about a minute to a minute and a half. A very nice watch, a very nice video to watch early in the morning before you start trading, just to see what Autochartist is saying about the markets. Towards the bottom right-hand side of the screen, there are introductory videos which provide you with I think they're 5 to 6 minute videos on each of the sections within the Autochartist application. And in fact, Eric is the one who put these videos together. They have been superbly scripted. They're clear, simple, and very, very brief and short and to the point. So I'm sure you'll all find them very useful. There is a user manual. There's downloads for some for plugins for different platforms. There's a plugin for MT4, MT5, JForex. There's a number of different platforms through which Autochartist is available. And there are written research articles on the foreign currencies, commodities, FTSE, which are listed here. There's an ebook with some trading strategies, and there's an instrument coverage list, which actually provides you a list of the Autochartist covers on the markets. Let me bring that up quickly and just show you how to actually look at the instrument coverage of Autochartist. I'll give that a moment to load up on everybody's screens. Okay, so let's have a look. See, so on Amex, we can see that most of the instruments are covered on 4-hourly and daily intervals, but you can see there are certain examples of very liquid instruments that are covered on 60-minute, 4-hourly and daily, and 30 minutes and greater. And so we have different coverage for different instruments depending on the liquidity. Liquidity is obviously very important when doing analysis based around support and resistance levels. If you look on the Forex market, of course, Forex is very, very liquid. And so most of the major instruments we cover from 15-minute time intervals all the way to 24-hour time intervals. So I think in brief, that is what I wanted to present to you today. We've gone just over 35 minutes, which was the time allocated to me. Eric, do you think, do you want to chip in here to tell people what I have missed out on, or you think we should add to this presentation?
No, I think you've covered all the bases, Ilan. It's always tricky to talk to a mixed audience where there's some experienced and some less experienced people, but we've aimed to keep this platform really simple and straightforward, and we try to make it as intuitive as possible. The trading opportunities tab is obviously the main. This is where the juice of it is. It's very simple to set up searches and to see the results. You've got arrows that point you the expected direction. It's really just the finer nuances that you learn over time. But we invite you to look at our resources and education section for for learning in your own time at your own pace. And anytime you've got questions or unsure about how to use the platform, just give us send us an email on support@autochartist.com. We try to answer your emails within 24 hours during weekdays, so yeah, you're very welcome to ask us anything you need to know.
I see, actually, Eric, I see a very important point about Steve has asked a point. He's got a broker, a certain broker that he uses, and he wants to know how to access Autochartist through that broker. Can you give a brief explanation of where people can get instructions about how to get access through their different brokers?
Steve, yeah, on our homepage, if you just go to www.autochartist.com, we've got a list of all the brokers that we provide Autochartist, through whom we provide Autochartist. And if you click on your broker's logo, it will take you to a login page where you can just enter. Most often, it'll be your login credentials that you use, that you get from your broker. It has an automatic authentication mechanism. Or if that mechanism is not in place for your broker, there should be some instructions that will just tell you, excuse me, how to log on. If you don't come right, then once again, just quickly email us and support@autochartist.com, and we'll set you on the right path. And of course, you're welcome to ask your broker as well, because their sale and support staff know all about Autochartist as well, and they should be able to guide you in the right direction.
Yeah, the trick is just email support@autochartist.com, and we'll put you in the right direction, or go to our website. Muhammad asks, what if he doesn't have, what if his broker doesn't support Autochartist or doesn't provide Autochartist? Eric, how would Muhammad get hold of that platform?
Muhammad, you can still get Autochartist on a subscription basis. Also on our website, there's a button, what is it called? I think pricing plans or something.
Yes.
Where you just, if you're interested, you can sign up for a free trial, fully functional free trial for I think 14 days, and then if you want to continue with it, you pay a subscription fee. Depending on how long your subscription is taken out, it's from $30 to $40 a month, and even if your subscription expires, you can still keep access to the Autochartist platform. The only thing is then the patterns will be slightly delayed. So you can basically, you have free access to the daily research, and if you want to do a little bit of historical checking, how did a certain instrument perform for certain patterns, you can do that, and it'll effectively be free of charge.
Right, and I think the most important thing to highlight there is the fact that through our broker partners, Autochartist is free. So you don't have to pay for it. So if your broker is one of our broker partners, then Autochartist is. And of course, Muhammad, if the ideal thing for us is for you to go to your broker and say, hey, why don't you guys actually provide Autochartist, put them under a bit of pressure, and maybe they'll come to us and actually partner with us and provide it onto you and all your other clients as well, you and all the other peers.
Possible ask a question. Can I log in on my mobile device? Yes, you definitely can. We've actually changed the dimensions and the aspect ratio of the platform to be much more friendly for especially like tablets like iPads, so you can quite happily use it in that way. So the way to access it on your mobile platform is still on using your web browser. With the smartphone, it gets a little bit cumbersome. There is a lot of information on the web application, so it might be a little bit cumbersome, tricky to use it on a smartphone, but definitely take it for a test drive on your iPad.
Can I add something to that, Eric? Can I add something to that?
Yeah.
For certain brokers, the Autochartist application is only available via MT4, and actually there was an issue around getting logged in through a tablet because there was no login screen for Autochartist. But just so that the users know, this weekend, because we do all our software maintenance this weekend, in the resource and education section, there's going to be a link that is specific to you to launch Autochartist from inside an iPad. So if you log into Autochartist from your normal PC and just email yourself that link or copy that link to your iPad, then you just literally just browse to that link in your iPad and you'll be able to automatically get signed into the Autochartist application on your iPad or tablet or any other tablet, right? Sorry, Eric, I just wanted to fill that in. So I think watch the resources and education section from Monday next week, and that facility should be there.
Okay. Ilan, thanks very much. It was a great presentation. I think we can probably wrap it up. This will be, the recording will be available on the website as well, or if you can't find it, just email us at support, ask specifically for the recording for this date, the 21st, my nephew's birthday. So yeah, Ilan, thanks a lot. Shall we call it a day?
Yes, let's go with that. Thank you, everyone. If there's any questions, please email support@autochartist.com. Have a pleasant morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you are in the world. Goodbye.
Many thanks. All the best.